Everybody, be careful what you say. Everything not on the microphones in this room is being streamed to the world. Although we will probably not have more than like 20 people in it or so.
The other one at 8:40. Yeah.
No, this is live now. No.
So they can see us now? It's streaming? Oh, okay.
But nobody's going to log in.
Got it.
That's just going to stay on all day.
We are on.
Hello, America. Good to see you. Right. Just mute that. All right. Okay.
You can just live stream it.
Just I'll look up if there's anything.
Okay.
I'm going to just yeah. Especially to move that. Let me also, we should put these in the back.
They're most in the back, but I have those if people want me to handle some.
Yep. Sorry, I want to pick up. What do you recommend? Menus. Yeah.
Ray Randall's event.
Do you do the fish tacos are better than the chicken tacos?
Do you think they're
better than the chicken tacos?
And I wish I could remember the name, but I'm going to say almost certain. He had a manuscript.
Yeah, I was one of the people there too.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And then I spent
Anything else?
Sufficient balance. Now,
Is there another side? What other sides are there?
there's no difference. And the meeting was blues and
That's a problem that we have.
You
We
recommend
are
the
aware of
rice?
that. We are always looking for ways to solve it.
You recommend the
There's a certain type of bread that signs up, but there's a certain type we can't get. So
well, and for what it's worth, I worked as a career with
Okay, I'll do
an example of more than it's the voting record.
the BLT chicken tacos.
It might be a very rational decision by the people who 75% to say that we don't have to create respectful. What do you think? We have to.
That's all. I'm gonna pick up.
but they'll do that in our majority red spaces too. So I mean, yes, they get to set policy, but it gets down to it. What is the whole purpose of Red Angels?
That's why I was there. I like the thing.
I get it.
I'm
I get
I'm
it.
sort of hungry They're not only civil, thoughtful.
Why you think what you think? That to me is the optimistic question. I don't need to be convinced. I don't need to convince others, but I want to know why other people see the world the way. We'll see some of that tonight.
So do you happen to know that some of this thing we mentioned? He got the notice together
He is publishing on a Substack.
Luke, were you
I was at the Age of Spectacle, the Great thing last
Oh, yeah.
So good to see you again.
Yes. I thought you looked familiar.
I was wishing the gentleman who was would be able to put a bow on his manuscript. He was.
Hey, for what it's worth, he's struggling. He doesn't want any help. I might, without his authorization, just like get a compactor version and send it to somebody without a name on it.
He
Just takes too many liberties in his writing, right? And he's not disciplined so much.
Well, he was skeptical about himself.
Yes.
Getting a thing done.
Yes. Which is not a good way to start.
He has started a Substack and is publishing it there. So,
Exactly. Next to Hillary Clinton's.
Yeah, I actually literally live like a 2-minute walk from there.
Oh, no kidding. You should have come by.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
yes.
But yeah, Mike McGill, California Republican guy, pretty. Hey, good to see you. California Republican guy does a lot of his whole thing is Latino politics, and somebody else who was always my good friend as well. So she also does Latino politics, and they have very different views on how that works. But it opened up some productive interlocution. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. You're still freelance, right?
Well, no, I write for Allgemeiner full time. Allgemeiner full time. And I do freelancing on the side.
Yeah.
Additionally for more money. So yeah.
Sweet. Let's chat some time. I'm freelance a little bit more these days.
Okay,
So,
for sure.
good news. The other day, I wrote my first ever full one-shot draft that I don't think needs serious structural editing.
Okay.
I just need some rethinking parts. I haven't done that in years.
What did you write about?
That Henry Clay was not merely a wandering, pragmatic, proto-liberal, foreign compromiser. He is also a base socialist, economic nationalist, unconditional unionist, which he also is, right? He's both of those things. And everybody who claims him, like the Netcons claim him for industrial policy, and normally liberals claim him for pragmatic compromise. And the thing is, he's both. You can't see the real Henry Clay without seeing those, and then also the ideology of self-improvement that drove him.
Okay.
Yeah, I could write it. Nobody's going to read it, but
You're going to publish it?
So American Compass has been asking me for something like that for a couple months. So, so we shall see. I'd like to write a historical interpretation because that is literally all. We've met once or twice. You look familiar. What was your name?
My name's Cam Durham. I'm a lawyer for the Senate Home Committee.
Maybe we have. Okay. Well, very nice to meet you. The
Yeah.
Senate Home Committee.
Help.
Home Committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that on the Hill or is that a non-profit outside?
No, that is a Senate committee. The ranking member for that is Bill Cassidy.
Ah,
I'm handling conservative session.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. My name is Luke. I'm here with Braver Angels and things at this time. So, how did you hear about us?
Yeah, so it was through the Connect app, and I've been trying to get a bigger sort of framework of where sort of value stuff is heading. J.D. Vance, there's been several American Compass pieces on him being the sort of like a driving force of American populism.
Yep.
So I figured, just watching what he has say in debate forum at one of these debates would be a good thing.
Well, I'm glad you came to us. This is not so much a analyst or intellectually focused one, although I like it when people utilize them because there is a really fun this is mostly a conservatives and liberals from bipartisan grassroots community coming here to watch things together and not It's always good. So, welcome to the Rose Trade. I hope
Thank
you understand.
Yeah, and remind me your name again.
Luke. Oh, Luke. And
Yeah.
Ken, right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Luke. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, you can sign up. Reaction.
Huh?
Reacting to something.
No, I was gonna go pick up food, but I'm just like, I have to find energy to do that.
I feel yeah.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
It's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Ah, we do this in Kenosha. We can do it. No problem. Were you there in Kenosha?
I wasn't. I wanted to go. I just couldn't like make it work in terms of time or things like that. So I was very regretful. It looks like you guys had a lot of fun.
We do have fun. Yeah. This debate is going to be different. Yeah, we at our national convention in June, it just so happened during our opening plenary, after we
Presidential
planned that.
debate, yeah.
What's that?
It was
Yeah.
a presidential.
We announced that
Biden.
the Biden-Trump debate, the first going to be that night. And so they were, we have to do something. So we did a presidential debate watch party, very much like Luke and I were hosting. That was a huge, like 600 delegates. Like, no pressure. We wanted to show off that our model was what we tested it, right? So we'll just have to say, take some comments. Except for like the New York Young Republicans who were over in the corner, like, they had a good time. But otherwise, everyone was fun. Welcome. Hi. Are you?
You are in the middle.
Get red blue down. Take a red blue. Okay. Okay. Tell anyone.
We'll just be like purple.
I mean, you can refuse to take a red or blue card if you want.
No, but I'm saying like real angels with this, it's like the person, like if you're in the middle, if you are yellow, I think it should be purple because purple speaks a red.
People often just say, I don't know what we don't purple option is it? Now, should we do an option? Right? Because aren't we all purple in some way?
Somewhat.
Yes. Unless you work for one of the parties.
Unless you're like socialist or really.
So, what's your name?
Corey.
Your names again?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, where are you?
I am a reporter. I work at the Allgemeine.
Oh,
Watching you.
I have heard that name. Like, what do you guys normally have?
Like Middle Eastern issues. So Israel, Iran, like Syria, like all that stuff that's going on in there. Yeah.
Like I started to it's really classes on Israeli politics going into February. March next year and doing a trip to Israel.
Oh, that sounds fun. With Israeli policy more. Oh, that's really cool. You just sign up for classes.
Yeah, so it was this program that basically fill out an application with $50 and they do a Zoom interview to do it once every candidate and then they let you into the class. So
It's interesting. Like to sign up. I read about it. I've been meaning to go over to Israel. If that's one place I could go to. Let's see.
Oh, God.
Something exciting to
I mean, if you give me your yeah, I'm a junior investment capital, so I think FBI agent, but for like political.
Sounds fun. Well, it sounds like very important and like super interesting. I'll give you my phone number.
How long have you been at your house?
Oh, like 2 years now. Basically.
Chapel full of delegates, 600 people. We did one there. So,
Yeah.
I was trying
You
to.
text me on.
My colleague and I ran the one.
Where'd you go to law school?
Yeah, so I went to the University of Georgia.
UGA. No way. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on all the football success.
Yeah, it was a fun time being in law school for that.
Funny thing is, one of my good friends actually, he goes to University of Florida Law School. I think he's maybe in his third year now. He's probably his third year. He goes to UR.
If you don't get
Did you go there for undergrad too?
Actually, no. I went to a small local art school at college. I ran cross country for 4 years.
Where was this?
So this is in Kentucky. It's called Center.
Center?
Yeah.
CNTLE. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Admittedly. I'm trying to be rude. I just haven't heard of
No,
that.
I mean, like, when I first got recruited for them, I was like, I have no idea what this school is.
Okay.
But yeah, I talked to Coach like I saw it, so I was kind of hooked. Went to my previous weddings.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
It's not like
super
about
fun.
rhetoric or
Okay.
winning the argument.
And so you want to continue to do this, I guess.
Yeah, I think this will be it. Like this probably the career that I had since I was, I was always into like civics and world history. So being able to play part of that it is a big deal.
So you're like locking people up, I guess. Or lock people up.
Nah, we're so I am on the Senate committee. So I do investigations involving the Department of Education, the Department of Health, the Department of Labor. So like stuff that we do with education, for instance, we would write to these colleges about their process for going through Title VI complaints in regards to anti-Semitism.
Gotcha.
We also did a little bit mill east studies.
Does your job really depend on like who you support? So like a more liberal politician may hire you, and then a conservative may fire you and bring in other lawyers that are more aligned with his ideology.
Yeah, so I actually have some job security. Like I've worked with the ranking member now. If we won the Senate, I would then be working for the majority. But if not, I would still have the same job that I have now.
Okay.
So it's more like if when you get more job responsibilities, more career advancement, not you. So the build connections and to the next one.
That's so interesting. Okay. I have to go pick up my food. I will be back, and I want to, but I just want to pick it up because I think it's right probably not. It was interesting. I definitely want to talk more about it.
Nice to meet you, Corey.
If you don't want to speak at all, you don't need to.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
You can take both if you want.
Maybe I'll just listen to it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
who else you got? Excuse me, everybody. We are going to refuse to start up any programming this evening until everybody moves at least to the 4 minutes row in. So please move a little bit forward so that over the course of this evening, as more friends of ours pour in, everybody comes closer. Also, you will be probably, knowing crowd and your psychology, you are probably more likely to be called on the closer to the front you are. So, we'll look forward to
And does everyone have a delegate card? If you would like to be called on, I want to get red and blue balance. So if you don't know which color you are, you can take both. You can pick both and raise both.
There we go.
Okay.
Do that. That's the best way.
There you go. Tell me which one you're feeling at the time.
What's your name?
Yeah. And I'm Jessie.
Hi, Jessie, Leah. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here.
For having us.
Have you been to a Brave Rainbows event before?
I'm happy to be here right now. So
Welcome.
you're
Glad
glad
to
to
have you.
good to be here.
We will start with just some opening remarks and at 8:45. Okay.
Welcome.
All right, guys, we're going to get started in just a minute. Welcome. If you do not have a delegate card, I want to make sure I hear from Reds and Blues tonight. So, would you care for a card? Thank you very much. What's your name? Rob. I'm Jesse. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Oh, you're right? Okay, welcome.
Good to see you. Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank you. And everything's on the record.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let everyone know that there are reporters here. So if you're going to quote anyone who does speak. Okay? Yes. All right.
Getting emotional over the,
I think you're watching it.
getting emotional about the debate. No, I feel like it's gonna be like very ready to.
I'm hoping that nothing momentous happens, so I have to do a lot of work tonight. Very worried like there'll be some kind of weird thing and I've got to.
Yes, let's get started.
For Mr. Puppet.
Mr. Puppet is going to give you a music video called Tuning Got Issues. It's a
All
diss
right,
track
everyone,
to-
let's get started.
Oh, wow.
And those of you who are joining us from online, welcome. Welcome to all of you here in Washington, D.C. If you are not joining us in person, I just have to let you know, I want to thank our hosts, the Eisenhower Institute, affiliated with Gettysburg College, our hosts for last year's convention. So thank you to Gettysburg. We happen to be located about a stone's throw from the White House. So if you're not joining us in person, I hope you get some of that spirit. I am joined here by my colleague and dear friend, Luke Nathan Phillips. who you may remember. We were the team in Kenosha who brought you the watch party. Anyone here who was in Kenosha with us? Awesome. So you've done this before. We wanted to try this again. We'll see how this hybrid version works. It's a smaller crowd, but I know a lot of you are online. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to the third member of our team, Natalie LaRoche, who will be your host and chair if you are tuning in online. I'll hand it over to Natalie to give you some remarks shortly before we get started for those of you there. But to set the stage for all of us, I have a question for you. Why are you here in Braver Angels? I know some of you are new to Braver Angels, so think about this tonight. Consider this our introduction to what our organization is about. But for those of you who are regulars, who have done this before, I'm going to say it has something to do with depolarization, right? There's an idea that you want to understand people who think differently. So in a sense, watching the vice presidential debate together is a little bit of a funny activity. I know that back in the day, I used to watch them with like popcorn, kind of the same way I'd watch, my favorite sports team, cheering for them. And it just, I'm a nerd, so both of those were like equivalent to me. But now, with the state of things, and now that I am with Braver Angels and running debates as I do, I am the director of debates for Braver Angels. This is what I do all the time. The debate we're going to see tonight is not the kind of debate that we host at Braver Angels, where we're here to be curious about the other side. This is the standard debate that everyone thinks of, right? The candidate debate where we're trying to win an election and maybe we're not being super charitable and we're just trying to rally people to come out and vote for us. So fair enough. That's what their job is. But our goal in Braver Angels is to create a sense of shared community across political divides. As we say in the Braver Angels way, we welcome opportunities to engage those with whom we disagree. And so I assume that you're here because you feel the same. So please remember that tonight when I ask for your comments. Remember to be curious about the people who are here. That's the purpose that brings us here today. Now, you're allowed to express your feelings. If you feel fear, if you feel anger, those feelings are welcome in this room as well. But I want to encourage you. There's some paper sitting on your chairs with some prompts. I want to know what inspires you. What are you excited about from your own candidate? I'm going to try to go for a red-blue balance. It's different from our convention where we had delegates who were 50-50 red-blue. And yes, I know you purples are out there too. I respect that. But all I've got tonight are red and blue cards. So in this room, will try to call on reds and blues equally, just so we get a balance. The way this is going to work, we're going to have a 90-minute debate, and we know there will be 2 4-minute commercial breaks. So in that time, we'll mute here, and I will just go out to the audience. We'll invite you to share what's on your mind, something you feel, something you think, a comment you want to make about this. And we'll just see what's here in this room, and that's where I'll need your blue and red cards. But beyond that, I would like to remind you of the Braver Angels way. If you're new to Braver Angels, we read this before every Braver Angels debate and in our workshops. I will read it for you right now to get us started. We state our views freely and fully without fear. We treat people who disagree with us with honesty, dignity, and respect. We welcome opportunities to engage with those with whom we disagree. We believe all of us have blind spots, and none of us are not worth talking to. We seek to disagree accurately, avoiding exaggeration and stereotypes. We look for common ground where it exists and, if possible, find ways to work together. We believe that in disagreements, both sides share and learn. In Braver Angels, neither side is teaching the other or giving feedback on how to say things differently. And with that, I invite leaders at Alliance Watch Parties and our national online chair, Natalie LaRoche, to take some time to address your groups, give the instructions for your groups. And while we here in DC are going to sit back and chill and get ready for the show, which will start in 10 minutes. So everyone else, I assume, will be muting, and we in this crowd can chat a little more. Sound back on? Thank you, Lou. So yes, Guys, I'm just I'm the director of debates for Braver Angels. If you are new, this is what we do. We also run debates. We're going to have a couple debates online on October 17th and October 24th. And those will be in our standard. When I said that these are not the normal debates, this is not a debate. We'll have resolutions where we have affirmative and negative, alternate speeches. Those will be online on Zoom, 8 p.m. Eastern. And the October 17th one will be resolved. Donald Trump will stand up to entrenched elites. And the 24th will be resolved. Kamala Harris will protect our democratic norms. So they're designed to get people talking about each candidate, not fighting about them, not fighting, putting them against each other, but fighting about one candidate at a time. Hopefully fighting in line with the Braver Angels way that I just read to you. So those are online. If you want some help figuring out how to sign up for that, let me know and I'll make sure you get that. We also will have on October 27th, I should double check, I believe it's 27th, not the 28th, at the Shaw Library. That will be a Sunday afternoon. We're going to have a debate, Resolved Pass Initiative 83, which is for those of you who are DC voters. That's the one on the ranked choice voting and open party affiliation. I'm a Maryland voter, so I'm going to come share. I don't need to speak on that, but I would love to have you join us. We also do workshops. We do a lot of other stuff. We do socials. So if you're the Braver Angels, Lindsay and Roger, they're some of our leadership as well. So, well, Roger comes along with Lindsay. He's our co-chair. So, yes, you're a leader. So, yeah, come chat with us. We'd love to welcome you to some more events.
Can you remind us where the debate is and who's moderating? I don't even know.
This one? No.
It's in New York, right?
Right?
Is it New York? Okay, it's in New York City. So it's at like just like a news studio. It's not like at a university. Is there a live audience for them?
There is no live audience. Okay. They will not be taking comments. So we're the comments.
Oh, okay.
And the mics are not muted.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay.
They did say, however, that CBS reserves the right to use them if they get our hands. Hey guys, coming in. We have red and blue delegate cards. So
Anyone have questions?
if you want to say anything, I recommend one just like if you like them, I will.
They're going to talk about something today.
Oh, I do want to tell everyone in this room that we do have at least one reporter, Sam from the Desert News, here covering tonight. So he's going to write an article about this. Sorry?
Both are.
Are you writing about it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're going to put some media coverage. So I'm going to ask all of our reporters, if you do want to quote anyone, please make sure they feel comfortable being quoted. But otherwise, have at it. So tell our story. Any thoughts? Any questions about how this works? Yes.
How many other watch parties are there?
We have an online one, and I'm not sure how many we have going. There's not a lot. We put this together kind of at the last minute, so but there's at least this one. So yeah. All right, not to put you guys on the spot, but if you're red, raise your card. Okay. How about blue?
Raise it high, that's like the crowd.
Okay.
Don't be ashamed anymore. Raise it firmly. I'm destroying them.
Welcome. Come on in. You said that's blue? Oh, you got it there. Okay. Red or blue tonight?
Oh, red.
All right, go for it. There you go. Red or blue? Okay.
Great, how are you
Welcome.
doing?
So what,
This is you.
Remind me your name again.
Anna Catherine.
So how's Joel State?
It's been good. I mean,
So it's they watch party. Apparently they're
oh, it does say we need too much the mother dead.
And then apparently that guy's that guy's from American company. Yeah, the orange gas thing. Yeah, with that
Yeah.
well, basically, they're like sort of like, they've used the term neighbor recognition as a like yeah, like there's also that party of front that thing you can do.
My mom's gonna be upset about this.
That was
Good. Love the ground. I got a nose root came out of it. Where's the water?
No, I'm actually a deputy scheduler for Oh, it's been great. I really love it there.
Yeah, how did you run into that?
I had just been interning on the Hill, saw the listing on the job bulletin and applied. Everything worked out.
Is it like the first you applied to?
Yes, actually.
That's pretty sweet. I had applied to like at least 4 or 5 different, but like yeah, that's awesome.
I am from Mississippi, but I interviewed Cassidy's office. Cassidy and Heisman, the staffs are both pretty good friends. So interviewing across the actually went out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it is about who you know.
Yeah, I've learned, but it was great. I really loved it. Yeah, it's sort of one box. So, what office are you in?
Yeah, so I'm part of Cassie's staff on that thing. So the that is the oversight.
Nice. Yeah, I interned for Cassie for like all of June, but that was pretty much it. So, but I was working mostly with health policy with them, so that's kind of where I kept like
Yes. And are you? Yeah, Heisman.
Yes,
I
for the longest time thought I was going to do policy. I still haven't totally put it up, but scheduling for as of now has been I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the operations side of things. I liked a lot more like I thought I would like being able to like intern and work with Cassidy scheduler. I definitely gained a lot of perspective.
No, it's not that. I mean, I have.
And then also, in terms of operations, that's mainly like when they like the different interest groups and when they conduct like events and just keeping track of that entire thing.
Most of
pretty big job.
Yeah, no, most of I actually handle pretty much all of the like events and interactions with the state. So that's what goes through me. It's like all the state interactions and senators and I meet with all of the field representatives who can be there along the interaction at RSVP for them with the state.
I did.
It's a little more intensive than
but I mean, it's not
no, it's been actually really fun to get to interact with the students, especially like graduating in June. Like I hadn't got to spend a whole lot of time really being in Mississippi while I was paying attention to kind of what was going on. So being able to do that through this job has been really fun.
So how was that? It was your last semester. Did you have senioritis or did you
No, I was student body president, so I didn't get a chance to have senioritis. Yeah, I was all in that. I had some friends who had it kind of bad, but I didn't get it. If I get senioritis, things start to come kind of good fire really fast. Why are you drinking?
Alarm bells go off for you.
I got to be hands-on until the very end. Even over the summer, I still had some people who would me with like questions, and I was like, "This is not my job anymore." I messed up. It was great though. I loved the experience. She was wonderful to me.
So, I'd never really participated with student government. That's probably something I wish I would have done. But like, how was your experience with that?
I loved it. I definitely think there's like who takes it more seriously. 90 seconds to go. I mean, it's like in college, so there's just a wide variety. I definitely think that I had a lot of opportunity to make a lot of change. Ample advantage, like exercise. So it was really great. I loved it. I understand how cynical these are. There's people eating diets.
It is.
I'm proudly.
I mean, I think so much mixed bag.
What is so you got any like fun college plans?
For student government, not really, just because like it's not too much fun. You can have a Senate meeting. In general, though, like yeah, I feel like a couple of stories that I'm like, oh god, yeah, that did happen. So yeah, my digital footprint's a lot larger because of student government than I thought it'd be.
Scares the shit out of me.
I hate thinking about my digital footprint. So like,
Yeah, I'm sick of people that didn't have the digital footprint going into.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys.
Were you seeing you want right across the country. So a lot of weird things happen at those meetings.
I'm sure. My fingers messed up, so I did not do that ever.
You like to do like sports?
Well, I didn't know that.
Are you more like a tennis player or?
I do tennis, Austin, St. Hall, offline, pickleball.
First one.
Yeah, I got referred. Like I enjoy it. I like. All right, we're trying to get subtitles up, everybody.
Get up.
Certainly. Okay.
no.
You ever want to go for a
There, Mike.
We have 4 minutes. I'm gonna pick 1 minute's responses maximum from about 4 of you. There'll be another commercial break and there'll be time afterward. Would anyone like to kick us off? Please, if you do want to, go ahead and raise your delegate card so we know if we're getting.
And if you don't have a red or a blue card,
if you need a card,
that shows your
we'll
leaning.
grab one for you. But does anyone have anything you'd like to share? Something that resonated with you? Something you're feeling strongly about? Can be negative. You also want to hear what inspired you. I know that negative feelings kind of dominate in these sorts of things. But yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like Vance is probably winning thus far, which is surprising, I think, to me. But like, I also think that like, I don't think it's gonna like change the state of the race because it kind of feels like he's technically winning, but it's not like a blowout. It's just kind of like I think he's just doing like better than Waltz. But I don't think it's the type of thing where like it's gonna change the race. I also just think that like Walz just comes across to me as just being relatively, I think, nervous and like his facial expressions are kind of odd. And then he also just like the question where they asked him about his lie about being on TM and swear or whatever, like I just feel like he handled that like very, very poorly. I don't know how much it's gonna matter, but like I just felt like he really struggled and fumbled with that question. I don't know. That's just my takeaway this
Thanks
one.
for the thoughts. So that's Corey's got a red card. So that's one side. Do we have a blue response, perhaps?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that it is very refreshing to hear a debate that is actually substantive. I feel it feels old school.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part, they are trying to answer the questions. I very much agree that like JD Vance is a bit more polished in this, and so maybe that means that he's winning. I mean, personally, I'm a blue, and I largely agree with Tim Walz's responses and his policies in general. I think that he's got a lot of substance behind him, but he absolutely is nervous, and his start was a little bit rocky. I think everyone in this room kind of felt he tensed up right when he started talking, but then he smoothed out, and I was definitely glad to see that. But yeah, it is refreshing.
To my co-host, yes, a red.
I'm bored and I missed the Trump Biden debate.
We don't want policy talk.
But I was struck by Vance saying he believes that his party needs to win back the trust of the American people on the topic of abortion. I can't remember if I've ever heard anybody say something like that before. And it feels very refreshing, whatever else is happening in this debate.
I noticed you react to that strongly. Yeah. All right. And right here, our blue comment.
I'm surprised to hear these responses because I was very frustrated by Vance's recitation of stump speech material and not answering the question.
Sure. Was there any part that stood out to you, especially on that?
Every time he was asked a direct question, and he went into 5 paragraphs of prelude promising to answer it, and then he never answered.
All right. We're having a lot of different reactions to this. I appreciate the variety. Are we just about to go back? Okay. No. All right. I will. Yes. Okay.
I found it encouraging how much they both acknowledged agreement with one another.
Yeah.
And they've made a point, both of them have made points. I agree with you. I don't agree with the person that you're running with. So I thought that was very interesting.
That stood out to me too. It was inching more toward the Braver Angels way. I'm wondering we'll get back to that maybe. All right. And now, speaking of being back to it, we will go back to it. There'll be more chances to talk later. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for the comments.
Mhm.
What do you object? Should be on a ticket together.
Your ground.
Anyone want to get us started? Raise your color cards if you don't mind.
Is it
I
again?
lost my second one.
Again?
No, I don't get to speak. You're censoring me.
Roger, the floor is yours.
I'll get you a card.
Go ahead, Roger.
I wouldn't mind seeing a ticket with both of them.
Please read. He worked at Daily College.
Yeah. Okay. So, but who's at the top of the ticket?
JD Vance.
Oh, okay.
That's my bias.
Well, you do have a red card. So, anyone else? What you thinking? Yes, in the back.
I'm thinking we're seeing the first displays of like at least what I would describe as coherent MAGA republicanism in what Trump and what Vance is saying. I think this is the first time I've seen a very coherent approach to kind of Trump's intellectual and governing philosophy. I think Vance is going to enter the national stage no matter what happens in this election, even if they lose.
Yeah, great point. I think this is not Donald Trump, right? But it is the land, what will come out of this political movement. JD Vance is articulating here. Yeah, great.
I don't know. I feel like I disagree, not because I think Vance is bad, but just because like I don't think that Trump's rise or success has anything to do with like actual substance. I just think that he's just like really entertaining and people just like him. And I think that that's why so many other Republicans have struggled to emulate him. Even the ones who really try, like Carrie Lake or Doug Mastriano, they all fail because none of them have the charisma or charm or anything like that. And why part of why Vance's, personal approval ratings or likability ratings are so low. But nonetheless, I think with this debate's just been like, I think I kind of like the fact that they are willing to acknowledge that there's like a lot of agreement on both sides, which has been really refreshing, even when they disagree. I do also find it funny how like he'll be like, yes, I agree. And then he goes on and Vance will immediately just attack Kamala Harris in like literally the next sentence, which I find is funny. But at least they're willing to concede that there's agreement and that they are further together. Because like for so long we've just been hearing like this like a very existential. If the other side wins, America like is going to end and will be either a fascist hellhole or will be communist. So it's nice to like not hear that for once.
And I appreciate the two different takes on wither the Trump movement. So thank you both for those comments. Thank you. Great points. Up here, a blue.
I believe I heard Vance say that under circumstances similar to the 2020 election, he would have done the opposite of what Vice President Pence did. He would have gone ahead with challenging the certification of the 50 sitting governors and attempted to keep the candidate who lost the presidential election in the White House. Did I hear that correctly?
I am not adjudicating anything, but I will take other comments from anyone who wants to get into this. This is a heavier topic.
I think we were all laughing at that point.
Yes, I think there was a lot of laughter in the room at that point. I'm going to come up here, James.
Yeah. So at the first commercial break, I thought maybe this would slightly help, the Trump Vance debate. I thought it was maybe pretty even. I thought Vance did it, it was pretty articulate. I think the second half, between the commercial breaks, sometimes he comes across as somewhat dishonest, at least to me. And so I think it might be, I'm not sure, because Walz had a kind of a favorability rating that was higher to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So it might stay that way or be close.
here in DC, we will have the national audience joining us. Oh, they're ready. Okay. Hello, national audience. Everyone wave to the camera there. We're glad you're joining us tonight. They're going to have their own discussion, but we're going to kick them off. So we can continue our discussion. Just for those of you who are joining us from the national audience, I hear you're having similar comments in the room. We are generally finding this a more civil debate than we've had before, but some people are raising concerns. Most significantly, I would say January 6th has come up in our room. Let's pick that back up. I would like, do we have a red? We left with 2 blues on that note. Do we have a red who would like to comment? And if not, I'll take whoever. Corey, the floor is yours again.
The question is just about yes. There's a question about Jan 6.
If you want to follow up on that note, you don't have to.
My opinion, I felt like I don't know if disturbed is the right word, like disappointed, I think, in Vance's answer to January 6th. That like Trump just lost, and I just think that a lot of people who don't acknowledge that are just not being honest. And I say this as someone who's like more conservative. And I think that Vance himself also knows this, but like he knows he has to say what he has to say in order to stay in Trump's good graces. But I also think that it's obviously not good for the future of American democracy that the future president of the United States is maybe someone that just doesn't want to acknowledge the legitimacy of election results and may move to do things like gut whatever remaining checks on power that exists against the executive branch to, be basically a check on him. So I don't know. I find it personally to be very worrying. I do think that Vance was correct that Hillary Clinton also did her own brand of election denialism, and it's not like new or unprecedented for that sort of thing to happen. But I think that how long Trump has carried it on, the extent to what he has done, he did directly instigate on January 6th, like he did play a role in that, unfortunately. And I think that I find it to be really disappointing that he answered it in that way.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, both of these guys, a lot of their best friends have told me that Walz lives in the Braver Angels way. JD Vance is really civil and bipartisan in a lot of his track record, all of which I think is basically true, and I think all of which they demonstrated more or less at a lot of points here. But then they also had maybe not below the belt kind of stuff, but still basically run of the mill petty engagements the way you normally assume politicians will. And it's a reminder that the idea of civility is as much a political shield and weapon as anything else in politics. It's something that is used strategically, which is what I think most people think of as the norm in politics, but our politics has been so out of the norm for a while that looking at this is like looking back to the 90s, which is just an interesting reminder of what people want and did.
Right, that's been 2 blues. Before we say send our national audience off. What's that?
2 reds.
Thank you for catching that. It's been 2 reds. Can we get 1 blue comment? Andy.
Yeah, so I am optimistic that the way this is received is that it's a triumph of substance over style. As I mentioned before, I do think that Vance seemed, especially in the beginning, more polished. When he says what Donald Trump said was, he's essentially whitewashing Trump's comments to make them sound more reasonable, because what he said doesn't sound at all like Donald Trump sounds in reality. So, Tim Walz was definitely frustrating me in his habit of, I think you mentioned, cutting himself off and not finishing his thoughts and assuming that people in the audience would know what he was talking about sometimes when it was a bit unclear. And I think he needs to work on that. But ultimately, it did become about the substance, because JD Vance was given a very clear opportunity to be clear about January 6th and about the entire Stop the Steal campaign from Trump. And he was fairly clear. I think we drowned out some of his answer in this room with the laughter at his redirecting that question towards, oh, we're thinking about the future and I don't want to think about it. But he has refused to say that he would do what Mike Pence did, and that is extremely troubling. And I think that a lot of folks in this room, including Reds, are very troubled by that. And I think that made this a very clear result. And I think there's a good chance that we're going to see that in the polling afterwards.
Thank you very much for that. And on that note, we will have a few more minutes before they kick us out, but I do want to send our national audience off. Natalie LaRoche will take your conversation from here. And thank you for joining us tonight. So now, for those of you in the room here, let's keep going. All right. Do we have any new voices? I'm just going to pause, see if anyone